Back in the workshop, guys. We're giving the Fez its final clean before we send it off to find its new home. We've given the workshop another tidy up, cleared a hell of a lot more space. We've got the driver's side to give a clean because it's still very mildewy in there. I'm going to give it a hoover out as well, wipe over, take it away, give it a good old clean as well on the outside, and hopefully we'll find it a new home. So we've just finished cleaning the inside of the Fiesta. It's all hoovered out, all wiped down. Ben's just giving the engine bay a bit of a clean. That's the automotive specialty brush, as you can see.
Very nice.
Reduces swirl marks by up to 150%. Next on the list we're going to be doing is chucking the airbox back in, getting the battery back in, just make sure it is starting up and it runs all okay. Then we'll be moving the stuff behind it out the way so we can take it out the workshop. And then we'll be taking it for a good clean on the outside. Right, battery's all back in. Just before we put all the air intake back, we're just going to give it a quick start up, hopefully. Hopefully it still turns up. We got power, all lights, nothing flashing that shouldn't be, hopefully. Sweet, she runs. Right, so now we know she runs, we're going to chuck the airbox back on. We're going to clear out all of this stuff. So we'll be back in a minute, guys, once everything's all done. Right guys, we've got the Fiesta out of the workshop. Not dead yet. Not dead yet. Starts and runs and drives perfect. Take it out very quickly, make sure it's not going to die, and we'll be good to go.
Righty.
Actually runs really smooth. Brakes need betting in again.
We're back from the test drive. It went successfully. The car ran and drove really smoothly. So I think we've done a good job there. Don't you think, Joe?
Yeah, it's not dead yet. Always a good sign. No, definitely done it spot on, I think.
I'm good at being a cameraman.
Cameraman. What's up, guys? You are honestly, you're like, come on, we've got to get the content, and this cunt is like, oh.
We shouldn't be doing
it. Oh. Alright guys, it's the following day. The Fez is in its new home temporarily. We've actually come back up to the workshop because we need to do some work on the Volvo today. A little while ago it had a meeting with a curb. Unfortunately I cracked the sump and I now appear to have stripped a couple of teeth in the steering rack. So I ordered a new steering rack, that's over here, and we'll be fitting that today. Hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult, but we'll see how we get on. So the first step is we need to jack the front up. You're a cunt. So the first step is we need to jack the front up, get it on some axle stands, raise it up for us. I've got to actually do it in two parts. I've got a scissor jack up there and then I've got a trolley jack just to raise it up a little bit more, only because the trolley jack doesn't actually fit underneath it as is. And then hopefully there's two brackets holding it on, and then there are two bolts that go onto the steering column, and then that should be it. Slide it out and chuck the new one back on. So just to give you guys a view of what it is we need to undo, we've got this ball joint here that needs to come off, this bracket here holding the steering rack in, this bolt here for the steering rack, another one above it, and then the ball joint on the other side. And then where the steering column connects to the steering rack, I'll show you on the new one here, we've got two bolts that come into here and here, and on the old one it's just got a gaiter over it just to stop all the dust and everything getting in there. So once we've got that taken off, we will be basically putting it on. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long, but yeah, hopefully it goes well. Right, so we've just taken the last bolt out that was connecting the steering rack to the column. Hopefully it should slide out with a bit of persuasion.
Alright, go on then, mate.
If you move, there's a bracket just behind it. Can you see it? That's it. It should. Like that. Oh, 2 seconds. Slide out just like that. Right. And here we have the old steering rack out. Grab the camera. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but it's certainly seen better days. Now we've got to do is take the ball joints off the ends, chuck them on the new one, set it roughly back to the same sort of spot, and put it back in. And hopefully we will be able.
Ask me how I've been. I hide it all, but I cannot pretend. Maybe you don't wanna know. 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 I've been running out of options, trying to get it. I've been plotting. They just wanna see me falling, fighting in my own head. Like all I see is red lights, but I'm going all in. Wasn't with me, now they calling. I ain't trying to get involved with bitches on me. I ain't know they thought I'm ballin', chasing happiness, but you won't find it in my wallet. Never late, too much at stake. I can't leave it up to fate. I can't tell what's real and what's fake, but I smile through the pain, cause I know I can't break. Ask me how I've been. I hide it all, but I cannot pretend. Maybe you don't wanna know. Maybe you don't wanna know. Maybe you don't wanna know. Maybe you don't wanna know.
Yeah, ayy, look. I gave my all for this shit. Now they wanna come and fuck with the kid. Everybody nowadays.
Right, we're now leaving the workshop. We've just finished the steering rack. I've also had a little look at the exhaust because that was rattling a little bit, and it was just a couple of screws that come loose, so I've amended that. First impressions on the new steering rack, it is absolutely amazing. There's no play in the steering wheel whatsoever now. I turn the wheels turn. I mean, does what it says on the tin as it should. I'll probably keep away from any curbs and that for a little while, just because I don't fancy buying another one and doing the job again. All in all, it wasn't too difficult doing the whole job. As I said, it was the two nuts on the ball joints either side, 2 nuts and bolts on one of the brackets, the passenger side, 2 nuts and bolts bracket driver's side, and then 2 nuts and bolts that connected to the steering column. Apart from that, really, there wasn't much else we had to do. We took the wheels off just because it made it a little bit easier for it. The only bit we really struggled with was getting the ball joints to tighten back up where they're at an angle, sort of chamfered. As you tighten it, they're meant to pull in, and it makes it easier and tightens up as you go, stopping the inside spinning. Unfortunately, we had to use the trolley jack with a block of wood and part of the paving slab on it to raise it up, and then sort of jack the car up on that just to give it enough force on it. Apologies if you can't see me at the moment. We're just on the way back from the yard going down the country lane, and it is dark as anything down here. But no, the car's nice and responsive. I'll be taking it down to Pro Tyre in Sitbourne tomorrow just to get the tracking done on it, where we've done it all. It's clearly out, and try to do it as best as possible. It's not too bad. It's just a little bit not unpredictable, but the wheels on the front, they both are towing outwards, I believe, so they're pointing outwards. It's not too bad, however it doesn't like to self-steer at the moment because of that. But apart from that, as I said, the steering rack is spot on. It's actually driving straight for once. I haven't got any play in the steering wheel at all, and it's actually really nice to drive again. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Both Instagrams of me and Ben Divi in the channel description as well. I've also started up a photography Instagram where, with lockdown, I'm having a lot more time to spend. I've got a lot more time to spend. So I've been honing my photography skills. Apologies if you can't hear me at the moment. It's a bit loud in here. But yeah, I've been honing my photography skills. I went up to London, did a photo shoot for a friend of mine in his 1 Series and his friend in a Mark V Golf. So there's photos of that on there. I've been taking photos of Ben's car. Secret's probably out of the bag now. Ben's actually got a Toyota Chaser JZX100 1JZ VVTi. Been taking a lot of photos of that recently. But apart from that, really, go check it out. Let me know what you think. If anyone watching it is actually local and would like to feature or have some photos taken of their vehicle, by all means drop me a PM on Instagram and we can see what we can do for you. But apart from that, guys, I think that is going to be it, really. So as I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and check that bell button